what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about this interesting discovery that I discovered recently. And that is about this AB group that basically do like the French dub for the Dragon Ball franchise in France. So what I discovered from a YouTuber who had, I guess, made a video recently about all the home media releases ever of Dragon Ball Z, he had brought up this AB group that did this French dub, and they did this Dragon Ball Blu-ray set, which from this video that he did, Totally Not Mark, he made a video talking about the AB group that did this release for Dragon Ball recently last year, which had very, very good quality, very good audio. And this is some of the biggest issues that have come arise when it comes to Dragon Ball Z releases over the years, is that there's been cropping issues, saturation issues, grain being distorted to make the colorizations distorted. A lot of these issues have come arise into the releases. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm the SS Ultimate Goku, but I already told you guys that. But if you don't know and you're a new viewer to this, I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I am an English dub channel. I talk about pretty much dub anime and all this stuff. And that's pretty much a majority of my coverage, but there are some times where I do have to bring up certain things that do arise that are important. And this, to me, when I seen this from Totally Not Mark's YouTube channel, him talking about... Now, he had made... basically talking about all the DBZ releases and giving his own opinion on the ratings of, them being good or them being bad or whatever. And it was like, oh, okay, cool. I've seen this before. It's like, it's cool. And I've even given my opinion to people on what my personal best Dragon Ball Z release is. I personally think everyone should just buy the single sets at this point, because the single sets, in my opinion, are the best release that we have ever gotten. And it was the original release. It was the DVD release that was converted from VHS, from the original VHS release. That, to me, is still, to this day, the greatest English release that we've had. I think the orange bricks suck. I have the Blu-ray versions, which, by the way, they're re-releasing it, even though it's been released for years. They took it out of print temporarily so they could reprint it with Crunchyroll insignia on it, and take the Funimation logo off, which is fucking dumb, but whatever. So... they have those sets. They have the 30th anniversary sets that recently came out a couple of years ago. And then the Steelbook editions, which basically single sets, which basically were the 30-year special edition. Nothing special, in my opinion, to that release. Other than, I guess, perks that are now available separately for you to buy. And then, of course, the level sets were canceled after 2 volumes. So those pretty much, and then the Dragon Box sets are out of print and are basically like not available to buy unless you want to pay $1,000 per set to get them. Now, as an English dub fan myself, as you probably would have guessed already, I'm actually not a fan of the Dragon box sets because the Dragon box sets do not include the Bruce Falconer score, which, as you guys know, I prefer the Bruce Falconer score over the Japanese score. For various reasons. I have done comparison videos in the past to prove why Falconer's score is much better than Katushi's score. So, excuse me. Sorry for mispronouncing that. I have made objective proof from scenes to compare to where Falconer's score is superior and why Katushi's is not. For certain scenes. I know the biggest criticism with Falconer is the silence that is not there in most of the scenes, but again, that was not a Falconer decision. That was a Funimation decision. So that's not a fair criticism of the man, because that wasn't his decision. I'm sure if it was up to him, he probably wouldn't have wanted to have all that music at once, because they had to put a lot of music in for a lot of episodes at that point. But there were certain scenes, though, where it was silent in the original Japanese, where I felt like music actually was better to be in there. Like Vegeta becoming Super Saiyan for the first time. In the original Japanese audio, there's no music. But to me, the way Falconer handles it, and he has the Super Saiyan Vegeta theme being played, that to me is a perfect moment for Vegeta to become Super Saiyan. You have that enthusiastic music. So there's a lot of moments where I think Falconer actually makes scenes better that aren't supposed to have music in it too. But nonetheless, we're talking about the history of certain stuff here. Point being is this AB group is making a Dragon Ball. Well, they made a Dragon Ball set. Possibly are going to make a Z set. And I seen some of the quality for this. This is probably, in terms of quality, which I'm going to show you guys this right now. Here is some highlights of, oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Here is some highlights of this. This is what we got here. Look at this, guys. This is not cropped. It's in the original 4:3 aspect ratio, which is something that has lacked since the Orange Bricks. Ever since the Orange Bricks, pretty much, they have put everything in 16:9. And they basically force you to watch it that way. Even though when you put it into your TV set, you can literally adjust the aspect ratio yourself. Funimation basically decides it for you, which again is been one of the biggest criticisms that Funimation has had for years when it comes to the releasing of the Dragon Ball Z sets, is that they do this. Now, of course, in the original sets that they released on DVD, you don't have this problem. You can have it in the original 4:3 aspect ratio. You can zoom it onto your TV if you want to stretch it out. But you have the option. Now, this to me right here, this Dragon Ball, which, by the way, unfortunately, when it comes to the Dragon Ball anime, there really hardly isn't any releases when it comes to Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball has the single sets, which I think the first 17 episodes of the single sets of Dragon Ball weren't even available in North America because they released the Ocean Studio version instead. So the only release for that single set that has the Funimation audio into it is unfortunately only in Australia. So you have to have like a region locked DVD player to play it. But anyways, the AB group has managed to figure out how to basically make the quality of the show basically the way it was intended to be, which I think is quite interesting because no one has been able to do that, including Funimation. Now with the level sets, they were pretty close and would have been the best overall release had, to this day, would have been the best release had they not canceled it after the two sets that they released. But this set right here is Very, very good. And it will be interesting to see what happens if Crunchyroll will partner up with them. I doubt it, but it would be really cool if they would. Now, for anybody who doesn't know what the AB group is, because I'm pretty sure the AB group were actually the people that were in charge of the Ocean Studio dub that came around after they came back on the air. So, for anybody who doesn't remember, Ocean Studio dubbed the first 2 seasons of Dragon Ball Z. Then Funimation took over. But then towards the, I believe, the end of the Trunks saga in Canada and some parts of the UK for TV broadcast exclusive, Ocean Studio came back on the air with the original Ocean crew voice actors. And I believe that was all done by AB Group as well. So, back in the day. So, AB Group is definitely very familiar to the Dragon Ball and the Dragon Ball Z property. It would be really interesting to see what they end up doing for Dragon Ball Z. Now, of course, this is in the French dub and the Japanese dub, so there is no English available. If Crunchyroll did partner up with AB Group to do this project, I would be curious to see how they would implement the English dub into this project, as well as the Bruce Falconer score, because to me that's the big selling point, is you have to have the Falconer score in there. Now, one of the biggest issues, and this is another reasons why I prefer the season versions, the original DVD releases of Dragon Ball Z over the all the other ones, which obviously there's a lot of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons for me is the season set DVDs have the original Bruce Falconer audio into it. Now, for anybody who doesn't know this, and what I mean is basically after the original DVDs were released in Dragon Ball Z, and they went to the Orange Bricks. So from the Orange Bricks onward, Funimation changed the Falconer audio. What does that mean? Well, the Bruce Falconer score in that audio is consistently all Bruce Falconer music. It is still all Bruce Falconer music. There's nothing that's changed in that aspect. However, there are certain scenes in the Bruce Falconer audio that they use for the Orange Bricks, which they use for every release since, where there are certain scenes where they changed the original audio that Bruce Falconer used in the original DVD sets. Not exactly sure why, but they did. And sometimes it was whatever, but then there were other times where it was like, why would you do that type thing? And that's one of the biggest issues that I have with the newer releases that they did, is that they took certain songs out of certain scenes for the Falconer score audio and put different audio, still Bruce Falconer audio, still Bruce Falconer music, but it was different audio. It was different musics for that scene. They rearranged stuff. Not everything, but there are certain parts. If you compare and notice after watching it a bunch of different times, you'll definitely pay attention and noticing it. So that's one of my biggest criticisms of a lot of these audios. Again, obviously there are other issues besides the audio aspect. Again, the grain, the crops, which a lot of people want to get that stuff out of there. And this AB group seems to, for the first time, we've seen something that is actually really pretty good. Now, will Funimation, now Crunchyroll, work with AB Group? It's slim to none. I don't know for sure. I mean, obviously, we've heard this card before with Funimation. Funimation, our Dragon Ball Z fans have complained for years. I mean, they complained about the 30th anniversary, and backlashed on it, and it didn't seem to matter. They canceled the Ultimate Uncut version, halfway through. So if you wanted to complete the Ultimate Uncut version of Dragon Ball Z's redubs from the first 2 seasons that Ocean dubbed, because they didn't redub it until 2005 with the Funimation cast, and when they decided to release those on DVD, unfortunately, Funimation decided to be assholes and basically cancel it halfway through. So if you had that original box set that they gave you for the collecting them all, obviously you have an unfinished box set because of that. So that's something that Funimation did. And also, again, they canceled the level sets. Any of the good releases that Funimation had done, they canceled. Now, why do I think this set is also important for Dragon Ball? Because obviously this is the Dragon Ball one we're talking about right now. They don't have a Z one yet of this for this French dub. But what I think is important about the Dragon Ball aspect of it is, again, Dragon Ball only had 2 releases. They had the single sets, which, again, wasn't a full release because Ocean had the first 17 episode rights to it. And so you only get that Funimation dub and the Australian dub. And number 2 release for Dragon Ball was the blue DVD sets. The blue brick DVD sets. Basically the orange bricks, but they're blue bricks instead for Dragon Ball. And obviously, as we know from that release, it is cropped and disoriented. So if you want to own Dragon Ball, which still to this day, by the way, Dragon Ball has not gotten a Blu-ray release like DBZ did, you have to get the blue Blu-ray sets unless you want to get the Ocean dub Dragon Ball episodes and or get a DVD region free DVD player to play the Dragon Ball episodes from Australia. So that's really the only way to do it. And it's very unfortunate. So I really, for that all alone, I would like to see this set with this quality come out for Dragon Ball if they're able to somehow make this work. It would be really good, I think, for the fans to have a set like this that a lot of people would be able to see some good quality of Dragon Ball, restored quality of it, and I would love for them to incorporate the dub into this. I don't think it would be that hard to incorporate the English dub into this release that AB Group is doing, and bring it over to the States with Crunchyroll. That's what I think should happen. But I wanted to give my 2 cents. I do like this quality, and I really hope that if they do release a Dragon Ball Z set of this in the future, that Crunchyroll will work together with them to release this, because this, to me, is something that Dragon Ball Z fans need to have. They need to have some good quality. None of this cropping and graining crap that they've been doing for years. It's just something that I think needs to be done. You know what I mean? It's something that I think we're long overdue for. But also make sure the Falconer score is incorporated for the Dragon Ball Z one whenever that comes out. But yeah, man, I think this would be really good. And shout out to Not Totally Mark, who really brought this attention to me. Because that was really the only thing that was really interesting in that video. Because it was, at the end of the day, it's his own opinion on the way he's rating the sets at that point. I've given my own opinions on the Dragon Ball Z releases. But when I seen that at the end of the video, I was like, oh, interesting. And so I felt like I should give my 2 cents about this AB Group Dragon Ball French release that they have put out. I really hope to see this in the future by Crunchyroll. It would be really cool to see this be released in the future. And I hope it does happen. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this? Would you guys like to see an English dub of this release and or a Dragon Ball Z release if that ever does come out in by AB? Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate, if you like this video, my reviews. Please subscribe. And that is about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, the SS Ultimate Goku, follow me on Twitch, the SS Ultimate Goku, Instagram, the SS Ultimate Goku, and also I do have a Discord server where we discuss anime dubs, cartoons, live-action movies, live-action TV series, sports of wrestling and NFL football, pretty much the whole 9 yards. So make sure to go to it. And now I'm out. Peace.